Hello, and welcome to Sports by Compion. My name, of course, is Stephen Compion, joined here by my other co-host who we fill in when he's not drunk, which with the new president he has will not be often. Cory Compion in the house. Cory,
Hello.
how's it going?
Well, quite well now that I have this beer hat.
Cory, this is a very silly beer hat, but it's perfect for you. The people at Sports by Coffee condone it, and they appreciate it. But go ahead and put in the comments, guys, what type of beer you think Cory should be mostly beer drinking. Surely you don't believe it's PBR.
Really, the silliest thing, Steven, is that you don't also have a beer hat, and that it
Hmm.
doesn't have fantastic like Viking horns like mine does.
I think I'm past the era of being able to pull off a beer hat. I think it's going to be hard for you to pull it off, but you have the biceps to pull it off, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
I mean, well, so being able to pull it off is a loose term. I don't
Hmm.
think anyone is winning in this scenario
Right. Other than you
because
having a double beer hat.
right, like Compian guarantee I will drink 2 beers by the time this podcast is over.
Let's
So
go. I
there's
also have some beers. I'm supporting you as well. Let's go. Hey, shout out to our non-sponsor sponsor, Rolling Rock, providing reasonably priced beer that comes in a bottle, makes you feel real shiny and like, oh, I'm like drinking from a bottle. I'm like one of those guys. You know what I
those
mean, Corey?
beer bottle guys.
Mm-hmm. But really, it's just like the same old beer. But anyway, shout out to Rolling Rock, proud non-sponsor sponsor, Sports Like Compion. Corey, we have some picks to get to. Some important
Mhm.
NFL games are coming up. Playoffs are on the line, sir. On the line. Are you ready? Are you excited? Do you believe in the heart of the cards?
I, Steven, am so goddamn pumped.
I love it. I love it, Corey. I love your enthusiasm. Let's hop right into this. Thursday Night Football tomorrow. Tomorrow! Well, actually, by the time this episode comes out, it'll probably be today. But anyway, New York Jets, Cleveland Browns. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and say Cleveland's going to win this game because Joe Flacco's balling out right now.
He's
Amari
having a
Cooper,
renaissance, and you love to see it. You love to see the
I love to see
38-year-old
it.
coming back and being the guy.
You love to see it. Amari Cooper, apparently people can't cover him. It's good times. The Jets had a
I
nice
said
little win
several
against the
times throughout
Commanders
that
last week.
game, I expressed how much I missed Amari Cooper to everybody who would listen to me, that I missed him and I
Well,
wanted him to come back to be a Cowboy.
we talked about it in Sports by Compy and how people just constantly giving up on the guy. Apparently, like they're out here. What's it called? The Raiders shipped him out. The Cowboys shipped him out. Here he is, just still balling out. A couple years later, good for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody else. Yeah, but anyway, are you taking the Browns with this, Corey, or are you taking that other team, the Jets, the New York
Definitely Browns for me.
Browns for
This
you?
beer situation is becoming quite an issue. But
Uh,
I'm for sure going Browns. I think Joe Flacco's balling out, like you said. The Jets aren't really doing too much. I don't even know who their starting quarterback is. They got some trials and
Trevor
tribulations going
Simeon.
over there.
Trevor Simeon, the dream. Anyway, I laid it for you guys because I wanted to see what you thought about this game. We got Cowboys. We got Detroit Lions. Saturday, 7 p.m. Corey, what's gonna happen? This one's hard to call. This one's hard to
So
call.
the Lions are going to do a bunch of scoring, which is going to
Mm-hmm.
be cool. Shout out
Right.
to Jared Goff for letting me almost hit a parlay, but then dropping
Almost.
the ball because he's a pleb. He's
Right.
not a pleb. I like Jared Goff, but he did
Same.
cost me a parlay.
Definitely did.
Um, they're going to do a bunch of touchdowns because the Cowboys defense sometimes shows up, sometimes they don't. I feel like it's going to be one of those games where they don't show up. The Cowboys offense, though, is going to score yet more points because the Lions defense doesn't really exist. So it's going to be a very high scoring game. Bet the over, put both quarterbacks 2 touchdowns.
Even though
And
Jared Goff just let you down on the parlay of not throwing 2 touchdowns last week.
right, I still think that they can make it happen. I think there's going to be tons of touchdowns being scored, but I still think the Cowboys are going to bring this one home.
All right, Corey, that's a
As
good.
do 66% of people. So
I'm going Cowboys too. I can't afford any more losses. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch the boys, but I certainly have to stay ahead of you. And I had a rough week last week, so We're gonna trust the heart of the cards, otherwise known as your picks right now, apparently. Buffalo Bills are hosting the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick coaching for his job out there, but and pulling off some late wins that nobody expects. But I don't think he can get it done against Buffalo. Buffalo is kind of one of those teams that hasn't looked amazing, but they're doing enough to beat these bad teams.
I would be surprised if Bill Belichick gets fired, and if he does, that's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, I would gladly take Bill Belichick to come and coach the Cowboys.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I think I would. I think he definitely. It would be weird to see the Patriot way implemented in a different team, seeing as how we've seen it for 20 years at the Patriots. But I think it can kind of be effective anywhere. Um, as far as the Patriots, I think the Bills on paper should win. You'd be dumb not to pick the Patriots on this one.
Bills.
But it is one of those games where it is a division rival. It is a team that Bill knows well. He's probably going to position his, defensive backs to get a couple picks off Josh Allen, and maybe they surprise us. I'm still going Bills, but I think the Patriots could surprise us on this one.
Agreed. I think that's a fair assessment all around, Corey. I'm just gonna like straight up disagree with that and move on. Move on with my life. That was a perfect assessment. No need to dive further into that division rivalry over there in the AFC East. Chicago Bears, Atlanta Falcons. Now the public is really going for Bears in this. I did myself because Justin Fields is playing really good right now. That Bears defense is balling out, and we don't know what the hell we're getting from Atlanta week to week. And they just are coming off of a win, so it makes sense for them to do like a bad game now. And I
Hmm.
don't know. I think Taylor Heineke's over there playing very similar to what we've seen throughout his career. One good game, one bad game type of guy. So yeah, I'm definitely taking the Bears on this one. I think Justin Fields knows he has to ball out these last couple of weeks to, keep his job. Bears are gonna have the number one overall pick via the Carolina Panthers.
I think Bears as well. Um, just because the Falcons, they don't seem to be too much of a real team, like not too dangerous of a team. Um,
They did
so
just
I
beat the
would.
Colts last week, so there's that.
They did. They don't make too much sense. They're just kind of
No,
like they're not like a real team, but at the end of the day, these are all paid professionals, like athletes that can at any point just perform and do crazy athletic things.
sure,
I still think Bears though.
agreed. Briefly introducing this, getting you some college football coverage. The day started off here on Wednesday with who the hell played around 12? I think it was Western Kentucky was playing somebody, and I want to say they won. No, that was the other day. Anyway, well, the one game I do remember was Toledo was playing against Virginia Tech. Cory, Toledo was 23. So going into this game, I thought, yeah, I think they got this. They got off to a one touchdown game. They're still plus 7.5. I'm like, yeah, okay, this seems like a safe bet. We're gonna be good. No, dude, they went on to get wrecked by Virginia Tech, 41-20 or something like that. Shout out to Virginia Tech. They had a hell of a game. The running back was kind of going off, so he probably just continued that progression. Sad times for Toledo, who was 23, sick ass jerseys, but they got their ass kicked out in this bowl game. Right now, we
Hate it
got
when cool jerseys aren't enough.
I know, dude. Same. Oklahoma State out here, 20, playing the Aggies. They have a comfortable lead here going in the second quarter, 17-16. But, don't count out the Aggies. Don't count out the Aggies, Cory. Texas
Don't do it,
A&M.
man.
Don't do it, bro. All right. The Colts, as we mentioned, just lost to the Falcons. They got to bounce back. But will they get it done against the Oakland Raiders? And when I say Oakland Raiders, I mean Las Vegas Raiders, Cory. Hot streak, these Raiders. They're actually on a 2-game win streak at least, if not more. But what's interesting is that so they just beat the Chiefs when they didn't complete a pass. What did Good Sports say? Like not a pass, past the first quarter, or something crazy like that. Aiden O'Connell under 70 yards and still won. So that's insane. I don't know if they
So
could do
what
that
was
against the
that? I
Colts
didn't
and
watch the
still win.
game. Was that just Josh Jacobs remembering that he's a beast?
No, Josh Jacobs, I don't think he even played. They had some backup running back in there, White, who did just enough. Mostly it was the Raiders defense was just balling out, and they were all over Patrick Mahomes all game long. Might be enough to beat the Colts. I kind of picked the Colts though because they have been hot up until they dropped the ball last week against Atlanta. They're back at home now. I think Gardner Minshew kind of one game on, one game off type of guy. So this being a rally game for him, Jonathan Taylor played okay against Atlanta. If they continue to rely on him, I think they'll be okay. I think they might be getting Michael Pittman back soon. That might be a big issue of what's going on with their offense. But either way, I picked Oakland originally. I picked the Raiders originally. I went back to the Colts, but I'm not really sure. What do you think, Clark? About this here matchup between the old.
I think so. I was originally Colts because the Colts make more sense to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The Raiders are all of a sudden just like doing nonsense that makes no sense to me. So
yeah, Antonio Pierce is coaching for his job over there and doing a great job.
It's really hard to like predict what they're gonna do. They seem like it feels like week one with them all over again. You know how like week one everything was like we think this is what they're gonna do, but we don't really know. And then as time goes on, you kind of get a feel for what these teams are doing. The Raiders feel like they've just reset. Like I kind of counted them out, and now all of a sudden they're pretending like they're a real football team again, and it's just real confusing for me.
Yeah, but now that I'm thinking about it, dude, Antonio Pierce really has been on a roll. Like maybe he's just gonna like guide them to yet another win over these Colts who are maybe stumbling a little bit after Atlanta. They looked bad in that Atlanta game. But then again, that's the Atlanta defense. I don't know. I'm going to have to come back to this one. I think right now I'm going to stick with the Colts because they are the home team. It's what the most of the public are going with, but it's pretty split. I don't know, Cory.
I'm going to go Colts. I feel like we would need Dan for this answer, but like, is Indianapolis definitely a cold place? Is this a dome or is this
I think it's a dome, yeah.
Nah.
I love you're always. Yeah, I think you're right. We got Rams traveling to the Giants, and down to the Meadowlands there in New Jersey. I think the Rams are gonna pull this game off. Cory, turns out Tommy DeVito wasn't the man, which is really sad for so many people.
Yeah.
But he did get benched last week for Tyrod Taylor, who did slightly better, but definitely no match for these hot Rams right now. I think this is going to be a walkover game for them, although there is no walkover games in the NFL. So I don't think, well, I mean, there is. We've definitely seen a couple of them this year. But I don't think this will be one because that Giants defense is pretty legit. The Rams will pull this off.
Agreed. Rams take this one for sure.
Well, Cory, we also have another NFC East team playing, which will be the Eagles, who almost dropped the ball to the Giants, still get it done. They are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Definitely going Eagles on this. I don't think Kyler Murray has enough to get it done over there. There doesn't seem to be much around him, despite his little efforts.
Cardinals only win. Cardinals.
Oh, you froze. Cory completely froze and died. Oh no. So anyway, I think what he's trying to say is Cardinals only win when Santa
good team
is around. Oh, you're back. Hey, you froze.
Am I back now?
Completely...
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the Cardinals only win against good teams, and the Eagles are a good team. So they could still win. No, I think Eagles. Fun fact though, I almost took a bet for the Cardinals to get under 4 wins this season, and it looks like that maybe would have hit. So that's pretty funny.
I mean, they're only one away, so they got 2 weeks. But yeah, either way, I think we're both going Eagles on this. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting the Saints. This is for the division right here. I think the Bucs got this. We've been playing some really good football right now. Todd Bowles seems to have the Saints number. I think he's 3-0 against them as a head coach. And Derek Carr doesn't seem to be real over there. Seems like he's kind of a mirage. They should just start Jameis Winston, but not in this game because he might actually beat us because he's a really good quarterback. Anyway, I'm taking the Bucs on this one. Shocker for the people out there, I'm sure.
The hat's too ridiculous. We had to adjust.
Understandable.
But yes, I also am going Bucs. I believe they will be big boys on this game.
Agreed. Well, good times. That should seal up the NFC South for them, which would be just stupendous. The 49ers are going to try to bounce back as they travel over to Washington to take on the Commanders. Commanders having some rough times in life, Corey. They don't know what to do. Sam Howell got benched. I think Jacoby Brissett probably going to start this game if I had to guess.
I
Um,
think he was announced a starter. Yeah.
so it's kind of sad for us to see Sam Howell. We've been singing his praises a little bit on this show, so a bummer to see the man get eventually benched. But
He
either
was like
way,
leading passing yards early in the season. He was
I
like
know.
number 2.
hmm
But I guess just throwing it down there isn't quite
A lot,
enough.
lot, lot of garbage time throwing. So anyway, he's probably gonna be benched. Definitely going for the 49ers in this one. They need a rally after their loss. I predict a good game out of Brock Purdy. That Washington secondary is pretty trash. So I think he's going to be able to get the job done. 49ers take this game and get to 12-4 or whatever it is they are.
So I saw a video. Um, Basically Brock Purdy has he's the only quarterback to clear concussion protocol in 1 week. And like after I forget who they played. The game before this game, he had a bad hit where like he like had a helmet to helmet, and then after that he threw 2 picks, and then he got put in concussion protocol. They brought him back the very next week. He's the only quarterback that's done it. You see, like in that game against the Ravens, he gets hit, pretty routine hit, and like as soon as he hits his head, he's like grabbing his helmet, like "Oh shit, my head!" And like basically the same thing that happened with Tua, where they're like, "Oh, this dude, his head's not okay," and they're not giving him time to like rally. He's all fucked up, and I think that's more what's happening,
Interesting.
more so than that he's a fraud and that he's a hobo. Like the guy was leading the race for MVP, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden he starts throwing a million picks.
It's
Like
just the haters who are like super excited to come
people
out
who
and finally
wanted to
draft
have
it.
a reason to
Dude,
dislike him.
they've been waiting for a reason to hate on this kid. It's kind of crazy.
Which like 3 of his 4 picks were tipped balls. So like
He was getting
there's
pressured all day. He had no time to throw the ball.
yeah. So I think yeah, I think definitely they can win against the Commanders, even if they should bench him in theory. Like
I
let
should.
him rest, give him some time to let his little brain like regenerate some brain cells or whatever. Like give him a minute.
Give him some alpha brain. Let him chill for a week.
He needs some time, bro. My man's going through some trials and tribulations over there.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, he needs the Lord in his life. Um. Anyway, let's move on to somebody who maybe doesn't need the Lord. Oh wait, we do have somebody else who also needs the Lord in their life. Trevor Lawrence down there with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think he's going to be able to start, Corey. It's looking. He's been banged up the last 3 weeks in a row. You have a kind of hot Panthers team coming in, unfortunately for the Jaguars. I think you got to go Beathard here. He didn't look terrible against the Buccaneers, and you give Lawrence a chance to catch his breath before the playoffs. He's not fully healthy, and it's showing.
But they don't have the playoff spot yet, right?
No, they certainly don't.
I think there's like something crazy, like 24 teams are still in the playoff hunt,
Oh yeah, it's wild.
and
No, that
yeah, I think yeah, you're not going to do anything in the playoffs without him. So I think you try to nibble your way in without him, and then hope that he's good to go in the playoffs. I think that's definitely the move. I think both Purdy and Lawrence should have a little time to rest and recover and ponder their lives.
he definitely needs it. So yeah, I'm picking the Jaguars for this one, whether it's Beathard or if it's Trevor Lawrence. I think Bryce Young, good game out of him, but I think he was also benefiting from the Joe Barry defense, which
Right.
we've come to realize is a giver. I tell you what, I didn't even know much about Joe Barry before this season, but I think everyone's come to know him as a pretty terrible defensive coordinator, from what
Take
it
that,
seems
Joe
like.
Barry. I still don't know who you are.
Well, now you do. Anyway, Baltimore
It's
Ravens are
okay. He
hosting the
doesn't know who
Miami.
I am either, so we're even.
There you go. Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Miami Dolphins, Corey. I don't think the Dolphins got this, dude. There's just no. I mean, I think the Ravens already have the spot locked up, but I don't see them benching people for this game. And that defense is just scary, dude. I'm curious to see if there's anyone who's going to cover freaking Tyreek Hill over there. But regardless, I gotta take the Ravens for this one. They're
I
hot.
think
They're mean. That defense is
they're
crazy.
out there doing some really scary stuff.
That defense is just so mean, dude. They're in your lap. Like you get the ball and then they're in your lap. Like, hello, we're here. Hi.
Hi,
You're like,
I hope
great.
you
No,
like.
I tried to throw the ball. I tried to hang up. We don't care. We're here. Hello.
Hello, we're just hanging
Oh, you
out.
know what? Actually, you're not ready. All right, just give us the ball then. We'll just give
We'll
it to our
take
friend.
that. Listen, you're not ready. We'll give it back to you when you are ready for it. But you're not ready for this ball right now. We are.
Although the Dolphins defense is no slouch either. They've been having some pretty good games. I've had them in fantasy and they've been solid in fantasy. Let me tell you. But overall, I think they're also a pretty good defense. Can they contain Lamar Jackson? We saw a pretty good defense get crushed by Lamar Jackson. But that was also like everyone was like talking shit about the Ravens. I think that motivated the hell out of them. They came out all freaking pissed off to that game.
So the only way Frankie's bet works, I don't know if they have Seattle.
They do. They have Seattle this week.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they can beat Seattle. So
we're not getting to that game yet, though. What about this game?
Well, I'm just saying the best hope is the Ravens win this game, rest all their starters, like they clinch the division, rest all their starters, and then the Steelers play a division rival, which we've seen they play their best games against their division rivals against backups.
Agreed. Yeah, it is a good case scenario. So in that case, you're also going with the Ravens. So that best case scenario will work out.
Oh, so I want the Ravens to win, and also I think the Ravens are going to win just because they are the better team.
Agreed. I think CJ Stroud is finally going to be back for the Texans as they are hosting the Tennessee Titans, Cory. And regardless of whether or not that he was going to be there, I think the Texans got this. They're a frisky team with or without CJ Stroud, and with him, I think they're very good. And they need this win.
What's up with Will Levis?
He is. No, that's a good question. Is he back? He might be. He might be back this week.
Either way, though, I think CJ Stroud still has him.
Agreed. He's been playing some really good football right now, so I think if CJ Stroud does get back, which it seems like he's in team meetings and stuff, still questionable, but I think he'll be playing. And yeah, the Texans have been pretty hot right now, so they're going to win this one.
This week seems like so many gimme games, but there's got to be some upset somewhere, right?
There's
no
definitely
way.
Going to be some upsets. We also had the Indianapolis-Oakland game, which was definitely a toss-up.
But that's the only toss-up we've come across. Well, I guess Falcons, Bears, kind of.
Even the Bucks,
Cowboys, Detroit.
Yeah, Bucks Saints is kind of a toss-up.
All right, so there's a couple close games, but
yeah,
it seems more one-sided than it's been.
Maybe, yeah. We do have the Steelers, as we mentioned, traveling to Seattle. It's a tough travel game for them, but I gotta believe in the heart of the cards on this one, Cory, because if they can pull this off, and they pull off the winning season, Frankie wins his bet. That'd be huge.
I am going Steelers just because, like you said, believe in the heart of the cards. No real logic, just all vibes. Just
all vibes. The Seahawks have won their last two games, but they've also won their last two games by 3 points in the fourth quarter on their last drive.
They've nibbled them out. They've nibbled out their last two games.
So if the Steelers play like they did, against whoever it is they fucking smashed recently, they will be fine. If George Pickens decides he wants to play football, which shout out to George Pickens, we definitely talk plenty of shit about you, and here you are, you respond good. Well, I already mentioned that already before in the last pod. But the point is, if George Pickens plays like he can, then they got this game. It's pretty much that simple.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. We need you, bro. Do some shit. Make some stuff happen. Get angry. I don't know. Whatever it takes, man.
Play football. Denver Broncos are hosting the Chargers. Russell Wilson benched for this game, Cory. Kind of crazy. I don't know really.
Who's
I don't know if
that.
What they got Stidham in there or something.
Oh, they got
Stidham. Remember that dude with the Raiders last year?
Yeah. Stidham's pretty good.
He's pretty good, but what?
Manny was
my opinion. If you're gonna bench Russell Wilson, put in Ben DiNucci.
He's not on the roster.
Oh, did he get cut?
I'm pretty sure he got cut.
Oh, well, that's a big
mistake. I think the Nooch is out there on the wild.
That's a big mistake. He's probably going back to the XFL then because they're getting ready to roll soon.
Yeah. Um. So Manny said it was something that like they don't have to pay Russell Wilson some amount of
There
money.
definitely was like a bunch of money mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah, if he doesn't play a certain amount of games. So I think they're thinking even if we do fight our way into the playoffs, which is not impossible but not super likely, they're not going to get a Super Bowl out of this team. So it's more like let's save the money now, I guess. I don't know.
really stupid. Seems really weird. Seems like you shouldn't have given them such a big ass contract. But either way, Cory, let's ride. Denver Broncos hanging on for dear life in their playoff hopes. I am taking them for this game because the Chargers.
Let's ride the bench.
I mean, Easton Stickum is, an elite quarterback, but I don't know if it's enough over there for the Chargers. Chiefs are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. I gotta think the Chiefs get back on track at this point.
Dude, they got it. It doesn't I
They
don't understand. I was looking at it and it's like, all right, so they're 9-5. They're like still the team that everybody picks and they're like, "Oh, these are like the second coming of Christ." Patrick Mahomes, he just loses because, like Satan rose up and like tripped him when he was about to get into the end zone. Like
right, yeah.
nothing's ever their fault. And then you got the Bucks, 8-7, literally one game difference. And they're like, "Oh, they just fucking those losers, they limped into the playoffs. They're going to go in there and get smacked." Like it's just so crazy how just your quarterback will dictate how much people like you. Like
That's fair, but I think that was also the narrative about the Bucks like 3 or 4 weeks ago when we were like had lost 6 out of the last 7 games we played, and the Chiefs were in obviously a much better position. Everyone was like, whoever makes it in from the NFC South is going to get smashed. I think there's been a different narrative about the Bucks the last couple of weeks. I've been seeing it throughout YouTube and some of the experts. People are noticing what Baker's been up to, but I agree with you, Cory. It is kind of crazy. Depending on what your record is, who your quarterback is, how the rest of the NFL views you, which I guess is fair. Everyone knows what it's like when you get down to the playoffs.
yeah. But it's literally one game difference. And like if you were to ask me now, like if you were to put this up now, Chiefs against the Bucks, it would be like 90% people going Chiefs.
You're probably right. I would take the Bucks.
I'd probably take the
We
Chiefs. But
well, they don't have any receivers to throw to, so I don't know what they're gonna do. They're
that's true,
literally
dude. I don't know
they
how
got
they have so many like they literally have Kelsey. They're like, we're just gonna throw it to Kelsey.
Justin Watson, Buccaneers legend. You know why Justin Watson got cut from the Buccaneers though? Because we had so many other good receivers we couldn't hang on to him. It wasn't that he was terrible or bad. It's just he wasn't good enough. And he's over there being like number one receiver for the Chiefs right now. Anyway, moving on. Chiefs, I think are gonna rally though against struggling Jake Browning. He was disappointed in that last game. You definitely called it, Cory. It's kind of crazy. That's who lost to the Steelers. It was Jake Browning and the boys. So maybe he'll rally this game and continue to put the Chiefs in a further hole. I'd kind of be here to see it, but I think I got to go the Chiefs in this game because I think Patrick Mahomes and the boys got to figure it out here down the stretch.
Even if the players themselves are kind of being noobs, you do have like behind Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, coaching up that team. So
You
he's
think
gonna put his.
so?
I don't know. At least in the league now,
Yeah, maybe the league
like
down.
I'm not here to tell you I've studied the ancient scrolls and
Right,
know what
exactly.
was going on in the 80s
Yeah,
and 90s before I was fucking
right.
born. But like since I've been paying attention to football, it's been like him and Bill Belichick.
Andy Reid has been very fucking good ever since he's been around.
He's the most winning quarterback or the most winning coach for two franchises. And like
It's crazy.
two good franchises, the Eagles and the Eagles when they were good. Well, I
Yeah.
mean they're good again now. And the Chiefs.
Valid points, Cory. Valid points. The last game we have to pick today is another toss-up one for you. You got the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking the Packers for this one. I like Nick Mullins' style of chuck the ball and hope for the best, but I think Jordan Love is a much more responsible quarterback right now. So now, that said, going against that Joe Barry defense, my boy Nick Mullins is probably going to throw like 500 yards passing. So if there's some type of over-under for him, like 200 yards, pound the over, dude. The guy's going to get it. Granted, he might throw like 2 or 3 interceptions though. But also, if there's some type of bet out there of who's going to be the NFC Player of the Week, Nick Mullins, good bet. That's all I'm saying.
With the picks, you think he'll still get NFC Player of the Week?
Well, yeah, because he'll throw like 2 or 3 picks, but he'll throw like 7 touchdown passes, but they'll still lose because Jordan Love's going to go off this game. Let me tell you. Yeah, I got the Packers for this game. But at the same time, dude, Justin Jefferson is scary. And I feel like he just came back and he's like, I'm going to hit 1,000 yards. And he's also going to do what
He's
he
got
can
2 games to do it.
He's got the playoffs. He's got the team. Got to get the team to the playoffs. So I don't know, man. He's scary right now. And like, he might go off for like 200-something yards against that secondary.
I'm going Vikings, not only because of the Viking beard hat, which I see we're near the end here and I'm struggling. I got like half a beer between these 2 beers, so I'm trying to pick up the pace here. But I am going Vikings mostly because of the beer hat, but Justin Jefferson does bring up some good points. I don't really believe in Nick Mullen.
He's basically Jameis Winston.
Yeah, their defense seems to have a handful of holes in it. Like,
It does.
the Vikings don't seem to be a good team, but they still somehow stay in games. So, I don't know.
I don't know either. But in other news, UCLA looks like they're going to go ahead and pull out. They're playing Louisville. This game might still be going on now, but they're pulling it off of a victory, it looks like, with like a backup quarterback. The guy taking over for Caleb Williams, it looks like, this number 7 kid. He's out here chucking touchdown passes. Oh, yeah. 35-21 in the third quarter. Dude, the dude's killing it against a pretty good Louisville defense.
Caleb Williams hurt?
Oh, well, no, he's on to the NFL, so they can't be bothered with bowl games. You sold me, Cory. I'm switching to the Vikings because I just don't really believe in that Joe Barry defense at all. And like, dude, they almost lost to the freaking Carolina Panthers last week. So like, I don't know, man.
I feel like my main selling point was Viking hat, but I'm glad was enough.
The Viking hat was whatever, but like, I just started thinking about Justin Jefferson, and like, he was crazy in that game against Detroit, Cory. He scared me. I wasn't even on the field, but he was just like, he just had this look, and it was just like, what is going on with this man? I'm telling you, scary stuff.
Just out there being a scary dude.
He is. He's might be one of the best in the NFL. I'm telling you. The best.
Well, definitely. That's a given.
I don't know if it's a given, but he might be the best receiver in the NFL.
Well, one of the best.
One of the best, yeah. Okay.
Is he the best? I don't know. That's up for debate.
And it's up for debate, man, but he's close, dude. The dude's so damn good. I mean, who else would it be? It'd be him, maybe Devontae Adams.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Yeah, Tyreek Hill.
Wait, Devontae Adams was good whenever he had the best quarterback in the league. He's been kind of quiet since he's been playing with Hobos.
Okay, though. And it's not, I mean, is that really his fault, though? But then again, look at a guy like Mike Evans. Has had some real hobos throwing him the ball and still manages to get 1,000 yards every year.
That's what I'm
saying. So yeah, there's definitely some debate, some interesting things to be said. But it's definitely, Jamar Chase probably up there, but also kind of quiet a little bit.
A little bit quiet since he lost his boy. Also, like, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good receivers out there.
We also have
Tyreek Hill, probably
it'd be probably between Tyreek Hill and like this year at least. But as far as like sheer talent, who I'm picking, I would definitely prefer Justin Jefferson. I think he runs more dynamic routes. You can just do more with him. He's younger.
I'm on Ross St. Brown, also doing.
Ross St. Brown, very good.
It also kind of depends on like the offense you're in, because like Tyreek Hill putting out the most production, but he's also playing for like pass heavy offense.
For sure.
Whereas like someone like Debo was killing it as in a running offense just because he was like doing running shit, like, and he's not even really the number 1 receiver over there anymore. Now it's that guy Ayuk.
Well, Ayuk has always kind of been around, but I guess it's kind of a good combo between the two. Another one that you consider Justin Watson, real stud, baller. Throw him in the conversation, Cory, you know what I'm saying?
Justin Watson, where is he?
He's the guy I was just talking about with the Chiefs. He's like their only
Oh, okay.
option. Oh, and CD Lamb. CD Lamb's been having himself a year.
CeeDee Lamb, it's funny. You'll see a lot of parallels between him and AJ Brown as far as like their stats. Very different play styles though. Like CeeDee Lamb
Yeah.
is a little bit like smaller dude, whereas AJ Brown is definitely more of a DK Metcalf type, like just big muscle ball, catch it over your head type guy, where CeeDee Lamb is like run elusive routes, make the hard catches type guy.
Yeah.
Like different play styles, but same production.
Interesting. AJ Brown's definitely kind of one that you could throw into that conversation, although he's had kind of a quiet year. But I mean, I
He's
think
up
that's
there
more.
in like the top 5 as far as receptions, receiving yards, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because when Jalen Hurts does throw it, he usually throws it to him. So it's true. He's had a pretty solid year too. So yeah, definitely playing debate who could be that number one receiver. How you doing on that beer? Should we call this?
I think we should call this. I don't think this is going to be the last time I lie to the people of Sports by Compion. There's still
No,
quite
it's
a bit
fine.
of beer here.
Yeah, don't
And
pound that. Your boy's gotta be at work tomorrow.
I do have to be up in 11, so 6 hours. I do have to wake up in 6 hours.
Oh, gross. We gotta end this immediately. But make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast so that when Cory stays up for all this, it's actually worth it, and he gets to express his opinion to many people. So yeah, share it with your friends and family. We will talk to you at a later point. Cory, any last words for these people? Sports by Compion?
Just do like 5 push-ups. Like right now, stop
Yeah.
what you're doing. 5 push-ups, easy. You can do 5 push-ups.
Should we do 5 push-ups with them right now?
Let's do it.
Let's do 5 push-ups with the boy. All right, my background covered that up, but you guys just have to trust that I did in fact do those 5 push-ups.
Dude, I kind of lost count. Might have been 4, might have been 6. I don't know. I was in there.
Who knows? It's an elusive world out there, people. Make sure you like and subscribe so we can keep you informed of what's going on. Sports by Compion, out.